Let's face it, aging alone is becoming more common than ever. Right now, over 27% of older adults in the US live by themselves. For some, it's by choice. For others, it's what life has handed them. Widowhood, children living far away, or simply growing older in a world that moves fast and checks in slow. But here's the truth most people don't talk about. Living alone as we age comes with quiet risks. Not the dramatic ones you see in movies, but the silent kind. A small misstep in the bathroom, a missed medication dose, a dizzy spell in the kitchen. 1 minute you're fine, and the next, you need help. But no one knows. And that's what makes aging alone so hard. Not the solitude itself, but the fact that there's no built-in safety net. No one noticing if something's off. No one knocking on the door when your routine changes. And the emotional weight? That's real too. Loneliness isn't just a feeling, it's a health risk. It's been linked to higher rates of heart disease, depression, even dementia. And the worst part? It often creeps in quietly, disguised as independence. But here's the part I want you to hear loud and clear. Living alone does not mean living unprotected. It does not mean you have to live without connection, without safety, or without support. That's why I made this video, for anyone out there who is aging solo now, or might be in the future. Maybe that's you. Maybe it's your parent, your neighbor, your friend. This isn't about fear. It's about preparation. Because there are real practical things we can do, small, doable steps, to make living alone safer, healthier, and more supported. In this video, I'll walk you through 6 powerful strategies to age safely while living alone. These are things you can start today. You don't need a big budget. You don't need to move into a care facility. You just need to be a little more intentional with how you build your routines, your space, and your connections. 2. Some of these might surprise you. Some might feel obvious. But all of them come from real experiences, real stories, and real people who've figured out how to thrive on their own without being alone in the ways that matter. So before we dive in, I want to ask you something. Who's in your corner? Who checks in when they haven't heard from you? Who would notice if something changed? If the answer is no one, don't feel ashamed. You're not alone in that either. But it does mean now is the perfect time to start building your safety net. Quietly, thoughtfully, in a way that fits who you are. Because aging well isn't just about staying alive. It's about living wisely, living with dignity, living with support, even if you're doing it on your own. Let's get into the first strategy. It starts with one small habit that could literally save your life every single morning. Let me ask you something. If you were living alone and something went wrong, how long would it take for someone to know? It's a hard question, but it's one that matters deeply, especially as we get older or care for someone who is. See, when you live alone, danger doesn't always look like a big emergency. Sometimes it's subtle, quiet, a slip in the bathroom, a dizzy spell, a forgotten pill. Hours or even days can go by before anyone notices. But here's the hopeful part. Sometimes a tiny daily habit can be life-changing. Take Harold, he's 82, lives alone sharp as ever, but every morning at 9 a.m., he sends a text to his granddaughter. Just one emoji. Okay? That simple check-in? It's a lifeline. If that emoji doesn't show up, she knows to call or even stop by. It takes him 2 seconds, but it brings peace of mind to both of them. Some people worry that routines like this take away independence, but honestly, they protect it. You're not giving up your freedom, you're building a safety net beneath it. Quiet, respectful, reliable. And there are many ways to do it. You could text a loved one, make a quick morning phone call. Even something as simple as opening your curtains at the same time each day can be a visual cue that says, "I'm up, I'm okay." Technology makes it even easier. There are check-in apps made for solo living. motion sensors that gently alert someone if you haven't moved for hours, or voice-activated systems that respond if you call for help. But the truth is, you don't need fancy gadgets to start. What matters most is the habit, the consistency. It's not just about emergencies, it's about connection, a daily reminder that you matter, that you're seen, that someone is out there who cares and is just a call or a message away. I had a neighbor once, independent, strong, didn't want to bother anyone. One morning, she had a stroke, and no one knew for 3 days. That changed how I think about routines like this forever. So here's the question. What's one small thing you could do every day to let someone know you're okay? Pick someone you trust. Choose a simple method. Then do it. Every day. Same time. It doesn't have to feel like a burden. In fact, it can become something comforting. A little anchor in the day. A symbol of care. For you and for the people who love you. Because the truth is, growing older doesn't mean becoming invisible. It means getting smarter about how we care for ourselves and how we stay connected. So take that first step. Build a daily check-in routine. Just one habit, one text, one phone call. You're not just staying safe, you're staying strong, independent, and connected. And in the end, that's what matters most. Let's talk about something that sounds small, but changes everything. Fall-proofing your space. Now I know, it doesn't sound dramatic, it's not flashy, but falls are one of the biggest threats to independence as we age. And the surprising part? Most of them happen right inside our own homes. Not out in the street, not hiking a mountain, just walking from the bedroom to the bathroom, or reaching for a cup in the kitchen. Think about it. Your home, the place that should feel safest, can actually become a minefield of hidden risks if we don't pay attention. Things like loose rugs, low lighting, cords crossing the floor, steps that don't have railings, even a favorite armchair that's too low to stand up from easily. Let me tell you about Carol. She's 77, sharp, active, living on her own. One morning, she got up to make tea like she always does. On the way to the kitchen, her foot caught the edge of a small decorative rug. She fell hard, broke her hip. 5 months of recovery, physical therapy, pain, a loss of confidence that still lingers, all from one avoidable fall. It's not just about bruises. For older adults, a fall can mean surgery, hospitalization, and long-term loss of mobility. According to the CDC, 1 in 4 Americans over 65 falls each year, and many of those falls start a chain reaction that's hard to come back from. But here's the good news. Your home can be made safer today. You don't need a full renovation or a team of experts. Just a little thought, and a few small changes that go a long way. Start with the basics. Clear the pathways. Make sure you have wide, unobstructed walking areas in every room. No piles of books, shoes, baskets, or clutter in walkways. Lighting matters. Add nightlights in the hallway, bathroom, and bedroom. Make sure every room has strong, warm lighting. If you get up in the night, light your path. Rethink your rugs. If they slide, they go. Or add non-slip pads underneath. That little rug in the hallway isn't worth a broken bone. Mind the cords. Use cord covers or reroute them completely. No one should be tiptoeing around power cables. Rearrange for convenience. Place the things you use daily at waist or chest height. No climbing on chairs. No reaching up to the top shelf. In the bathroom, a high-risk zone, you can make it safer with just a few additions. Install grab bars. One near the toilet, one inside the shower or tub. They're not just for hospitals. They're for smart homes. Use a shower chair. Sitting while you bathe isn't a sign of weakness. It's a smart way to protect your balance. Add non-slip mats. In the tub, in front of the sink, anywhere that water might spill. Rubber soles, not bare feet. Even your footwear matters. Walking around in socks may feel cozy, but it's risky. Choose rubber-soled slippers or house shoes that give you grip and stability. Now, here's a gentle challenge. Walk through your space today like you've never been there before. Look with fresh eyes. Ask yourself, could someone trip here? Would my future self thank me for fixing this now? You don't have to wait for a fall to make a change. In fact, the most powerful thing you can do is act before something goes wrong. Because creating a fall-proof home isn't about fear. It's about freedom. It's about being able to move confidently, to age in place, and to keep living life on your own terms, safely. So take 20 minutes, walk through your home, make a list, ask for help if you need to move things around or install safety gear. It's a one-time effort that can prevent a lifetime of consequences. You've got this. Now, on to the next strategy. This one's all about human connection and how we can build small habits that keep us from ever feeling truly alone. Let me ask you something simple, but important. When was the last time you checked in with yourself? Not just a glance in the mirror, not just a passing "I feel fine." I mean a real check-in about how you're doing, physically, mentally, emotionally. The truth is, most of us, especially as we get older, don't notice the subtle shifts happening inside us until something goes wrong. One day we're managing the house, the bills, the routines, and then suddenly we're forgetting names, skipping meals, or feeling exhausted even after a full night's sleep. Sometimes the signs are quiet. So quiet that we write them off. Like losing a bit of weight without trying, or getting clumsier, or feeling more irritable than usual. Here's a story that stuck with me. Bill was 76, a proud man, independent, sharp, loved crossword puzzles. But then, little things started slipping. One day, he left the stove on and walked away. Another time, he couldn't find his car keys because he'd accidentally put them in the refrigerator. At first, his family laughed it off. We all misplace things, right? But these moments kept piling up. Eventually, Bill was diagnosed with early-stage dementia. Looking back, the signs were there. They just didn't seem big enough to worry about. This is why regular health check-ins with yourself are powerful. It's not about being paranoid or overly cautious. It's about paying attention, because no one knows your body and mind like you do. I encourage you to set aside just 10 to 15 minutes every week, same time, same day if you can, and run through a short personal health check. Start with 5 simple questions. Have I felt more tired or low energy than usual this week? Have I had any trouble remembering things like appointments, names, tasks? Have I noticed any changes in appetite, sleep, or weight? How steady do I feel when I move around? Any dizziness or imbalance? Have my mood or emotions changed in ways I don't understand? These questions may seem small, but they give you a window into your well-being before something becomes serious. Even better, write it down. Start a tiny health journal, just a few lines each week. You don't need to be a writer. Just jot down how you feel physically, mentally, and emotionally. Anything out of the ordinary. Patterns will start to appear over time. Maybe you'll notice your sleep has been off for a month, or that you felt unusually down for 3 weeks. That's when it's time to talk to your doctor or someone you trust. This simple habit could be the thing that helps catch early signs of depression, cognitive decline, or physical imbalance before they escalate. And here's something I've learned from people who've built this habit. The act of checking in with yourself regularly isn't just for health. It gives you a sense of ownership. It's empowering. It reminds you that your health isn't something that just happens to you. It's something you actively care for. So here's my invitation. Choose a time each week, maybe Sunday morning with a cup of coffee, or Friday night before bed. Ask yourself those 5 questions. Write down what you find, and if you ever notice something that feels off, don't ignore it. Reach out. There's strength in being proactive. Aging doesn't mean losing control. It means learning new ways to stay in tune with yourself. Your body speaks, your mind speaks, your spirit speaks. Make time to listen, and when you do, you won't just catch problems early. You'll build a stronger relationship with the most important person in your life, you. Stay with me, because up next, we're diving into a powerful strategy that helps you build your own safety net without giving up your independence. Let's talk about the space we know best, our home. You see, most of us think of our home as a place of comfort, familiarity, and safety. But as we age, that same space, those same familiar rooms and routines, can quietly become full of hidden risks. A slippery rug, a dim hallway, a cabinet that's just a little too high to reach. These may seem like small things, but they can have major consequences. Let me tell you about Linda. Linda is 76th independent, sharp, and proud of living on her own. She had a routine, morning coffee, a little gardening, and always the same pathway through her living room. But one morning, as she stepped out of the kitchen, she slipped on a floor mat she'd had for years. It wasn't anything fancy, just one of those simple rugs by the sink. But it slid, she fell, and just like that, she fractured her hip. 5 minutes of accident, 6 months of recovery. And here's the hard truth: it didn't have to happen. The good news? With just a few intentional changes, we can turn our homes into safe, supportive environments without sacrificing style or comfort. Start with the pathways. Look at every room you walk through every day. Are there unnecessary items in the way? Side tables you never use? Boxes or loose cords along the floor? Clear them out. Open space doesn't just look better. It gives you the room to move safely. Now think about your most used items. Your coffee mugs, favorite cooking tools, medications, or cleaning supplies. Are they within easy reach? If you need to stretch, climb, or balance on tiptoe to get them, it's time to rearrange. The goal is to make daily life easier and safer, not a physical challenge. Lighting is another overlooked factor. As we age, our eyes naturally need more light to see clearly. Yet many homes are still lit like they were 20 years ago. So here's a simple upgrade. Add motion sensor night lights in hallways and bathrooms. Install brighter bulbs on staircases. These aren't luxury items, they're safety tools. And let's not forget the bathroom. This is one of the most common places where injuries happen. So think ahead. Install grab bars near the toilet and inside the shower. Place a non-slip mat in the tub. And if balance is a concern, a shower seat can make all the difference. Now, let's talk communication. If something ever does go wrong, you want help, fast. So make it easy. Place a phone in every major room or carry a mobile device with a fall detection or emergency call feature. Better yet, set up a simple emergency button that you can wear or keep within reach at all times. These are not overreactions. These are smart, empowering steps that protect your independence. You might be thinking, but I've lived here for decades. I know this place like the back of my hand. Yes, but the body changes. Reaction time changes. And even the most familiar space can betray us if we're not intentional. This is not about living in fear. It's about choosing to live with wisdom. So take a walk through your home today, not as a resident, but as an observer. Ask yourself, if I were guiding someone I love through this space, what would I change to keep them safe? Then, make those changes for yourself. Aging well isn't just about doctors and diets. It's about the environment we live in, the space that either supports us or puts us at risk. Design your home like your life depends on it, because in many ways, it does. Let's talk about something we don't always see, but we always feel. Lonely. Many people enjoy their independence, their routine, their peace and quiet. But over time, if we don't nurture real connections, emotional and social, it can take a quiet toll on our well-being. There's a man named Gerald, 82 years old, healthy, active, still able to drive. But when I asked him how he was doing, he didn't say, "I'm tired," or "I'm sick." He said something much heavier. He said, "I feel invisible." Not because people were unkind, but because no one called, no one checked in, no one needed him. And here's what research and life clearly shows. When we lose our sense of connection, we also lose pieces of ourselves. Our memory fades faster. Our mood sinks lower. Our days blur together. So how do we build anchors in a time when so many of us are living alone? Start simple. Start intentional. Set up regular check-in calls. Once a week with a daughter, every Sunday with a neighbor, or even a short daily message to a friend. These don't have to be long conversations. Just knowing someone's expecting to hear from you gives the day meaning. Explore online volunteering. You'd be surprised how much purpose you can find in mentoring a student, helping veterans with resume writing, or even knitting items for shelters. Contributing to something bigger than yourself is one of the fastest ways to feel alive again. And don't underestimate the power of small, consistent community. Join an online group or forum specifically made for older adults. From hobby clubs to support groups, there are thousands of people out there who want connection just as much as you do. For those who are more hands-on, consider adopting a pet, a cat, a dog, even a bird. Companionship doesn't always come in words. Sometimes it comes in wagging tails, warm fur, or the quiet comfort of knowing something depends on you. And here's one more underrated gem: your local senior center. These places are so much more than bingo and brochures. Many offer daily activities, classes, tech support, walking groups, even counseling. They're filled with people who know what you're going through, and just showing up could be the first step toward building a new rhythm of connection. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I'm not really a social person, or I've gone this long without all that, why now? Because the truth is, it's not just about socializing. It's about staying mentally sharp, emotionally grounded, and spiritually uplifted. It's about having someone to laugh with, to lean on, to say your name out loud when you haven't heard it all day. You don't need 100 people. You just need a few real anchors, a few reasons to smile, a few moments where you feel seen, heard, valued. And if you're watching this and you've already built some of those connections, call someone who might not have. Be their anchor today, because whether you're 28 or 88, connection is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. So ask yourself, who did I speak to this week? Who reached out to me? And who did I reach out to? And if the answer feels a little too quiet, maybe it's time to start ringing the bell again. Your voice still matters. Your presence still matters. And there are people out there and right here who want to hear from you. Let's help each other remember that. Let's talk about something that often gets overlooked when we think about living alone: the quiet power of connection and what happens when it's missing. Now, let me be clear. Living alone doesn't automatically mean being lonely. In fact, for many people, solitude can be peaceful, empowering, and even joyful. But here's the catch. When solitude turns into isolation, when days pass without real conversation, a hug, or someone simply saying your name, that's when the risks start to rise. Not just emotionally, but mentally and even physically. Meet Gerald. He's 82. Still sharp, mobile, and active. He keeps his home tidy, makes his own meals, even takes walks every morning. From the outside, everything seems fine. But when I asked how he was really doing, he said something that stuck with me. I feel invisible. Invisible. That one word says so much. Not sick, not sad, just forgotten. Like he's disappeared from the rhythm of other people's lives. And Gerald is not alone in that feeling. Studies show that chronic loneliness can lead to increased risks of dementia, heart disease, depression, and even premature death. It's as harmful to our health as smoking 15 cigarettes a day. Let that sink in for a moment. So if you or someone you love is living alone, this part of the video is especially for you. Because being alone doesn't mean you have to feel alone. There are ways, real, simple, meaningful ways, to build emotional and social anchors that keep you grounded, fulfilled, and connected. Let's explore some of them. First, schedule regular check-ins with family or friends. These don't have to be deep heart-to-heart talks. Just a consistent rhythm, a call every Sunday, a text every morning, a video chat once a week. When you know someone's expecting to hear from you, it gives structure and warmth to your week. And when they know you're okay, it gives them peace of mind too. Second, consider giving your time to something bigger. Volunteering isn't just about helping others. It fills you with purpose. There are countless ways to volunteer from home: mentoring students, knitting scarves for the homeless, answering support calls, or writing letters to isolated seniors. When you give your time, you also receive something deeply human: the feeling that you matter. Third, find community, even if it's online. There are so many online groups, forums, and video hangouts designed specifically for older adults. Whether you're into gardening, photography, history, or just daily chats about life, there's a group for that. It's easier than ever to find people who share your interests and understand your experiences. Fourth, think about adopting a pet. A pet isn't for everyone, but if you're able, even a small animal can change the feeling of your home. They give you routine, affection, and something to care for. Studies have shown that older adults with pets experience lower blood pressure, less stress, and increased feelings of joy. And finally, don't underestimate your local senior center. These places are often hidden gems. Beyond bingo and coffee, they offer classes, fitness groups, tech help, counseling, and social events. It's a safe, welcoming space to meet people who are also looking to stay connected and engaged. Just walking in the door can be the first step towards something truly life-giving. The bottom line is this: we all need people. Not a crowd, not dozens of friends. Just one or two consistent, caring connections can make all the difference in how we feel and how we thrive. So take a moment and ask yourself, who do I speak to regularly? Who checks in on me? Who do I check in on? If the answers are few or none, that's okay, because today is the perfect day to start reaching out. Connection is not a luxury, it's a lifeline. And no matter your age or circumstances, it's never too late to build one. Because you are not invisible. You are still here, still needed, still worthy of love, laughter, and deep human connection. Let's not wait for the world to knock. Let's open the door ourselves. Let's take a breath and bring it all together. Growing older and living alone, yes, it can feel overwhelming at times. There's a quiet fear in knowing that no one may hear if you fall, or that some days might pass without a single human voice. But here's the truth no one says loud enough. Living alone in later life doesn't have to mean living in fear. In fact, with the right mindset and preparation, it can be one of the most empowering and peaceful seasons of your life. You see, independence is not about doing everything alone. It's about designing your life with intention so that support, safety, and joy are built in. A small habit, like checking in with your health once a week. A slight adjustment, like rearranging your home for easier access. A single connection, like a regular call with a loved one or joining a local group. These aren't just little tasks, they're anchors. They are the quiet threads that hold your life together with strength and grace. Now let's be real. No plan can remove every risk. Life by its nature is unpredictable. But what you can do is meet it with clarity and courage. You don't have to wait until something breaks or goes wrong. You can act now with calm and wisdom and create a foundation that lets you live with dignity. Not just day to day, but fully and meaningfully. I want you to remember this. Growing older doesn't make you invisible. Living alone doesn't make you fragile. You are still powerful, still needed, still deserving of a life that is safe, vibrant, and filled with connection. So whether you're watching this video for yourself, for a parent, or for someone you care about, this is your moment to reflect and reset. Ask yourself, what small change can I make this week to feel more supported? What system can I set up that future me will thank me for? Because you don't have to do it all at once. Just one thoughtful step at a time. And if this video gave you something to think about, something useful, something hopeful, please consider sharing it. You never know who in your circle might need to hear this message today. And don't forget to subscribe to this channel, Elderly Joy Life, where we share more insights, strategies, and heart-centered conversations for living well, aging wisely, and staying connected. Your story is still unfolding. Let's write this chapter with purpose and joy, We'll see you in the next video.